page 375 of the book. So I'm on the page that has the instructions for the unemployment tax. So if you look up here in the spot that's highlighted with the yellow highlighter, unemployment tax is only calculated on the first $7,000 earned by each employee. So keep because you can always look up the percentage, because it shows the percentage in front of that as 6.2%, but you got to keep a lookout for the first $7,000. So anything over that, you're not going to calculate any unemployment tax that's already been calculated during the previous quarter or the reporting periods. So that's what we got to watch out for, is the employment tax. So basically in the instructions, we've got the accumulated earnings for the quarters through April 30th. Then we're going to start with we're going to calculate all of our taxes on the earnings that were made May 1st to the 15th. So we've got this here. I'm looking at the trying to see why these numbers don't match up. Okay. So it says here in the next paragraph, deduction can't be more than 5.4% of earnings. So, say 8%, 0.8% for the first 7,000. So they're taking off the deductible for the state on that one. So all we're going to do is our first employee, they've already made $5,100 through April 30th. So now for May 1st through the 15th, they made $637.50. But we didn't hit that $7,000 threshold yet, so we're still going to do the unemployment taxes. So $637.50 times 0.08. That's not right. Oh, I see. It's been a while since I've done this. So, sorry, taxable earnings. I was getting ready to calculate it here for the side. So the unemployment taxable earnings that we're going to charge, calculate unemployment taxes, is going to be on the $637.50. So if there would have been an amount where they'd had like right on the edge of 7,500 and this put them over, we'd only calculate on the part that was still under the 7,000. So now we look at our next person. Look at Irma. She's already made 7,000. So her total earnings for May 1st, 900, but she's already made 7,000. So the unemployment tax was already collected on this in the previous 4 months. So the unemployment taxable earnings is 0. So now we're just going to add up our totals. So $637.50 plus $920. Sorry, my handwriting's kind of terrible there. $1,557.50. And add up our column over here. That's an even easier one. So now we've got two different totals. We're going to use this column for unemployment rate or unemployment taxes. Then we're going to use this column total for the Social Security and Medicare. So we'll go ahead and start with Social Security. So the 1557.50 times 0.062. Now don't forget, the rounding. So that'd be $96.57. Then we're going to do our 1557 for our Medicare tax. .0145, 2258. Yeah, 2258. Yeah. Okay, so now we got our unemployment rate for a. So we 0.8%. So we're going to calculate that off of our other column here for unemployment taxable earnings. So just this column here. So 637.50 times 0.08. Be $5.10. .008. I should have said. And then our 637.50 times 0.054. For 34, remember rounding, 34.43. So we'll just add these up for the total taxes that we've got to pay. So $158.68. So if you wanted to, as I know this, so you remember when you do the on your own, however you want to mark it, you can draw a line to that column. Draw a line to that one. However you want to do it. If you don't need to do anything, that's fine too. But if you want to, make a reminder to know which columns you're calculating everything on, there's a suggestion. Yeah, it's just the total. Just add everything up. So there's what you should have so far. If you want to make little notes like that, like I say, you can either multiply it, use the percentage on your calculator, or you just want straight up by the numbers. That's what they would be. So now we've got to take this information up here, put it on the bottom part for our general journal. An example for that is just on the opposite page from the section review page. It's getting blurry, I know. So, let's see. Journalize the taxes, use journal page 10. Memo number 46. We've already got our page number on here. So we need that. So we're just going to fill out our time. We're just going to fill it all out. Basically, just like example, fill all the numbers in the same spots. And that's all we have to do for this one. So that's M46. So our total's up here, the 158.68 in our debit column. And then everything else is going to go over in the credit. So our Social Security tax, $96.57.
What's that month?
May. Look at our Medicare tax, $22.58. And unemployment taxes are federal and state. Started to write the total in there. So, yeah, I wrote a 0 there as I started to put a 1.
What's the
Pardon me?
what's the
That one.
no,
That one. That's this number. 657.
no, it's M46.
Oh, yeah, M46. So yeah, the biggest one in these, on your own, you've got one that's already over $7,000. Now just keep in mind, $7,000 is the cutoff. So nothing over $7,000 gets taxed for unemployment tax. So if you make $100,000 a year, your employer is only paying unemployment tax in the first $7,000. So basically the same for everybody that makes over $7,000 a year. The employer has to pay the same amount, and unemployment benefits for everybody. And that's why if you file for unemployment, depending on why you're unemployed, your employer can protest that. They'll report back to the unemployment office. If you got fired for doing anything that you did wrong. So if you get filed for cussing out customers or not showing up to work or flipping off the doing your job, basic incompetence, you get fired for any of those reasons, you won't, your employer, that when you file for unemployment, your employer will get a letter notifying that you filed for unemployment. Then your employer's got, your ex-employer's got a certain amount of time to report back on whether they want to dispute that or not. They can dispute it with a reason. Then if you want to dispute that dispute, then it goes to some kind of hearing. Both sides tell your stories, and then whoever it is that's in charge says whether you get unemployment or not. If you get laid off just because of lack of work or business shutdown, something like that, you should get unemployment. But if you just decide one day, yeah, I don't like working at that job anymore, I'm gonna figure out a way to get myself fired and collect unemployment, that doesn't work. People still try, it doesn't work. Sometimes it does if an employer misses the notification, or they just don't send it back in, or maybe they send it in and there's a hearing scheduled and they don't show up, or they don't send anybody to show up to state their side of the case. Well, in that case, you got lucky and you'll get your unemployment. But on that, it's